normally put through. And it hasn't even started. The drug companies in Canada do not want to follow that through. So the normal drug testing that occurs is just not happening at all. So, it's not moving towards being an approved drug in any way, shape, or form, although everyone is somehow waiting for that.
Kind of a two-part question. Do you think it's ever going to be, like, not on the government level, but at least on the provincial level? Do you think it will ever come to be legalized, like Proposition 215? And
oh yeah.
Part B is, once it gets there, would it have like a conflict on like the state level and the jurisdiction level?
I don't think we'll have the same state breakdown that's occurring in the U.S. But things are definitely progressing. It's happening in so many ways it's hard to keep track.
What's like the most recent push as to like getting marijuana as an approved drug? Because you said like right now there's nothing but like.
I guess I'm just never enough time. The two Achilles heel of Health Canada's programs are the doctor's requirement. According to the Constitution, doctors should only have to diagnose. And until it is an approved drug, a diagnosis is not only sufficient for the court system, but just generally acceptable way of doing things where the doctors aren't liable, people are choosing to do it and using their constitutional rights, whether the doctor approves it or not. The doctors just confirm that they're qualified essentially with a medical necessity. The other Achilles heel that sort of we're brushing on, I think, is the fact that extracts are totally illegal under Health Canada's program. They're trying to protect drug companies. Many believe they want to cut down the growing component entirely and force people to either get their pot from Health Canada and certain drug companies or get different pills, inhalers, sprays, other mostly alcohol extracts that they can standardize in ways that are more normal compared to for how they work with things, but certainly aren't the healthiest use of the plant. Clubs like ours that are making cookies that are essentially containing cannabis resin or THC. I think I've read their recent standard operating procedures of identifying cannabis, and they've changed them since my last court cases, and watermelons as well. I'm quite sure that they've tightened it up. But the fight over how legal edible cannabis products are, I think, is the future of this movement, because smoking it has some medical benefits, but eating it has so many more.
Easily.
And that's, I think, what really threatens the drug companies and their fiscal stability. Now, I guess, so those are a couple of the real problems. Unfortunately, Health Canada's system that they've created has given a lot of people reason to be critical of them. As I said, they don't help people grow, so they don't give instructions. So there's all sorts of, bad growers that have licenses right now that are causing all sorts of problems that more and more are being heard about. Many are growing beyond the plant numbers, which doesn't look good. And I think the RCMP just released a report recently that said that something like 40% of the places that they had inspected were obviously reselling or selling substantially more than they were supposed to be supplying. And by granting designated growers a license, on one hand, Health Canada has tried to accommodate for sick people, but they've opened up this really weird door that businesses have jumped into. And there's 4 businesses on the island, and I'm not sure how many across Canada, that are literally taking private medical information from people that qualify for Health Canada's programs and selling it to growers to sign up as designated growers. The going rate's $200 a plant, so a 50 plant license is worth, 25 plant license is worth $5,000 on the open market. And those designated grower licenses will not only allow you to grow a certain number of plants, but possess a substantial amount of cannabis. And so in some ways, an industry has grown that is, in some sense, taking advantage of Health Canada's programs and kind of linking that up with people that want to grow legally. Because now every person that has a license to possess can grant someone else a license to grow. And so there's this huge incentive for every sick person that has a license to sign up a grower based on any promise in the world that they will grant to them. I even have knowledge of some businesses offering people food if they don't want all the pot that they could get. So the companies would be giving these individuals food in order for their designated grower license to be possessed by somebody. And so there's this market that has evolved around Health Canada licenses that I don't think they predicted, and in many ways could come back to haunt the medical marijuana community, which would be really unfortunate. Well, that's it for me this year. Again, Gail's here next week to talk about the history of Hempology 101. It's been a pleasure here again. Thanks everybody for coming out.